5-star copies all. Go ahead. Message to observer. Alpha 3 rounds. AT delay in effect. 3 guns. Bravo 2 rounds. 2 guns. Smoke on effect.
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? This is Andrew coming at you with another Options Millionaire educational series video. This one is a special video to me because this lays out perfectly why I put so much emphasis on market awareness. I know a lot of people want the holy grail. They want the special indicator that's going to get them big returns and consistent returns, but in all reality, it just doesn't exist. If trading was centered around technical indicators like EMAs or lines or MACDs or whatever it is, then everybody would be successful. I could teach my kids to be successful. But unfortunately, that's just not the case. The best traders I know don't trade off of technical indicators. They trade off of the market, what the market tells them, volume. So my key tenets, and I'm just going to reiterate those for you. The first one is market awareness. Knowing what the market's doing. What are the Qs doing? What's the bonds doing? What's VIX doing? What's everything doing? Taking that all in and bringing it into one equation, one formula that's going to give you a solution. And that solution is whether or not to take a trade and which trade to actually take. The second tenet, which is kind of redundant, but I want to focus on the VIX. The VIX is such a key component, which is volatility. Knowing when volatility is in and out of the market knows you whether to put on or off a play. No one wants to take a position of low volatility where things are going to trade sideways. You're not going to have much volatility or much action or much return. So you really want to see when is the market introducing volatility and taking out volatility, and how much of that volatility is there. So that's why VIX is such a crucial component of my strategy. Thirdly is going to be volume, which walks hand in hand with volatility. You really need to watch the volume candles, the volume price, and the nodes there that form for the distribution of particular volume at a certain price. And that's very crucial. I think those three things, market awareness, the VIX, and then the volume, are absolutely crucial in a trade. And a lot of times I take a trade on those three alone without even looking at any technical indicators, because that's all the information I need to know. Fourth, and I'm going to put these in a category of its own. Yes, it is a technical indicator, but it's so special because it's not developed by just a formula. It's developed by years and years of experience from a trusted person that I have in the Discord, and that's Veteran Exotics. That's his indicator. But the session ranges, the morning and afternoon session ranges, and this is something that he introduced to me in the Discord months ago, and it's uncanny how accurate it usually plays. And there's a video on that. I'll link that video in the description below to watch that. But that is the fourth indicator that I always use, and that's the AM and PM session ranges. Fifth and lastly is finally the technical indicators. I personally use the 8, 21, 34 EMAs as well as the squeeze momentum indicator. Those are the things that I personally use to back up and confirm everything and the VWAP. I throw in VWAP as well. But those are the things that I personally use on the back end to confirm as a last resort. But you could use whatever you want in terms of technical indicators as long as you're putting those behind the priority of market awareness in volume, in my personal opinion. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. This happened on July 30th, Friday, July 30th, 2021. And this was a pair trade that was heavily based on the VIX, the bonds, the 20-year Treasury bonds, ETF, which is TLT, and SPY. For these purposes, I have in dual screens here because I want to show you exactly what happened. SPY is up top, and TLT is on the bottom. The situation is that SPY was kind of having this low volume crap throughout actually the entire week. And then on Friday, it was no different. We had some fluctuation in prices, sure, but it was all low volume stuff. And then in the afternoon, we had this low volume chop right here, going into the late morning, early afternoon hours. And then at about 12:30 Central, 13:30 Eastern, it started this downtrend. And then finally it popped through the range and SPY just tanked. And then, without a lot of people not realizing or understanding why, it had this sharp V recovery. Bam, it just recovered in a perfect V formation. And also, not many people know why, but me, I was looking around the market. When I saw this happening, I'm figuring out, okay, what's going on here? I don't like to just sit just on SPY and try to guess what's going on. This is why the first tenet of my strategy, market awareness, is so important. So what I start to do, I start clicking down my watch list. What's going on? I look at all the sectors. TLT, V, XLE, XLB, XLF, XLK, QQQ, VIX, SPY. I'm looking at the futures. I'm looking at SPX. I'm looking at FANG. I'm sorry, what's going on here? I'm looking for news. Why is there having a sharp V recovery? I'm looking at the volume. Did we hit a support area? Did we hit a distribution area where this is where the buyer is going to step in. All possible realms and all possible strategies and possibilities here. So what I started doing here, what I found is that there was a sharp sell-off about the same time in TLT. As SPY came up, there was a sharp sell-off in TLT, and that was a big alarm for me. When I see the 20-year bond selling off this bad, this quickly, I know there's going to be some sort of inverse relationship with SPY. It doesn't always work inversely, but when there's something this egregious, this sharp, there's going to be an inverse relationship here. So what I started to do is look for a basing of TLT, looking for a basing in the VIX, which it did, and then look for a bounce. And the first sign of a bounce on TLT, I was going to look at going short on SPY. So my first thought is to when am I going to find the entry point for my puts? Because one, am I supposed to take a puts, or when do I take a put? So I saw SPY climbing. The first thing I want to look for is wicking out of candles, which we get. This candle gets wicked out. We get these long, nice little wicks where the buyers are coming in, or the sellers are coming in, and just taking this thing down. So we have a green candle form wicked out, green candle form wicked out to a red. This green candle form that gets wicked out. So the wicks are starting to get longer and longer, and it's starting to form this top. So now I flip over to TLT, and then I start to see this TLT start to flatten out, and I see this thing going sideways. Green candle, red candle, green candle, red candle. It's starting to form this upward trend. Then I look at VIX. The second I see a VIX bounce, I'm going to start putting on a put trade. So I get that put trade here. So when I see this thing start to come on now, this is for now 2:12 my time, Central Time. I see this red candle start to form here. And then at the same time down here, the times are a little mixed up here, but it's about right here, the same thing. I see this green candle form. I saw a green candle form on the VIX. I saw a green candle form on TLT. I see the volume die down on the buyer side, and I see these candles being wicked out. I thought it was a high probability trade for SPY. So I took the put right here at 2:14 Central Time, 3:14 Eastern Time. All right, so now that I'm in the trade, I am looking for confirmation and follow through that this thing is going to continue to fall. So we enter the trade, we get this nice healthy red candles followed by this increase of bonds, which gives me the warm and fuzzies. The trade is going to work out. And then we get this nice big green candle, buy up candle for recovery candle for TLT. For SPY, we get these nice red candles that close lower than the previous candles. So this one opens lower, this one opens lower. And then of course, we get this big washout red candle that brings it all the way down, followed by some nice recovery green candles. So it had some nice strength that SPY is going to continue to fall based on this TLT action. Now, I will say, this inverse kind of relationship pair trade doesn't always work. It has to be a quick, egregious movement with bonds to show that this is going to have an inverse relationship. Stuff like this flat stuff is not necessarily going to be inverse. You can kind of see here's a downtrend, stuff like that, because this is low volume, this sideways stuff. It's got to be a quick, egregious movement. So this was awesome to identify, and that's why it's so important to have your head on a swivel, to have market awareness, to be flipping back and forth between, like this is why this is my bread and butter watch list right here. I've got SPY, VIX, QQQ. I've got all the sectors, TLT down here in the NASDAQ, primed up and ready to go. So I can click through all these in 20, 30 seconds and figure out what the market's doing. So identified the exit here because one, I saw this green candle getting wicked out. I see the VIX at the same time starting to form a red candle starting to roll over. And I saw this candle starting to get wicked out here, and I closed on the next candle at 15.10. And I took the SPX August 4th, 43.75 puts, and I filled here at 214 at $12.70. And I closed down here at 15.10 for almost a 20% profit. So it is a fantastic trade. And this just goes to show you that market awareness is so key. It's so crucial as opposed to technical indicators, because when I ended this position, people were asking me, hey, the EMA is just crossed up. The 8 just crossed up over the 21. Like, isn't that a bullish sentiment? Why are you taking a put here? And I was like, I couldn't tell you what the EMAs were doing. I didn't even look at any technical indicators for this trade. This was purely a market sentiment volume trade. I didn't even look at any technical indicators. And that's why it's so important, because if you're sitting there looking at only SPY, looking at only the technical indicators, you're going to miss this trade. You're not going to want to take a put here because you're scared it's going to keep on going up. Or why would you want to take a put? Because it just had this sharp V recovery. Why is it going to keep going? So if you're sitting there looking only at SPY or whatever ticker you're trading, and you're only looking at the technical indicators, you're going to lose out on other entries, on other positions and other plays, because technical indicators are in and of itself are wrong a lot of times anyway, but it's not going to identify this particular trade. And this one actually worked out perfectly. I timed the top and the bottom perfectly because I was watching the VIX and the TLT bonds. Anyways, guys, that's all I got. It's just a nice little market awareness play that I really wanted you to see. So you can see to uncage your mind from the technical indicators and focus on the big picture. What the big guys do, what the big traders use is the market awareness. If you can figure out market awareness, you will become a profitable trader as long as you can understand the processes and wonderings and whys of why the market does things at certain times. So if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe to this video. Thanks for joining and watching today. If you're new, go over and join the Discord. I'll post the link right here. Awesome community with a wealth of information and people that are willing to learn and educate themselves instead of just blindly following plays. You can always email me at OptionsMillionaire2020@gmail.com. You can shoot me a DM on Discord as well, or you can @me anytime in the Discord room. I appreciate you taking the time to be here and watch this video. If you did like and subscribe, you can need to get notifications not only for this video, for all other videos going forward, and of course my live streams, which I do every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I also do voice streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the Discord under the Patreon stream chat, which is an exclusive perk of being a Patreon member in the Discord is that you get streams additionally on Tuesday and Thursday, as well as direct access in the Patreon channel where I hang out during my trading hours explaining all my trades. I appreciate everybody being here. Till next time, I'm out of here. See ya.